big up, everybody? Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to a late edition, an in-between matches edition of the American Idiot Show. Dal, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic because this is a weekend we can look back on that Liverpool lost the league. No, I'm doing good. Good morning, TJ. It's about 9:18 here in the West Coast. And I was up at 6:50 this morning to watch the onslaught of Forest beating Liverpool today, which we did not do a review. Predictions, right? Last time we spoke.
Nobody would have predicted that.
But I think my prediction would have been a 1-1. And hey, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Right? What can you say? Yeah, let that one slip there, Latimus Prime. Hudson-Odoi to Chelsea is going to be the next headline. But anyway, shout out Nuno Espirito Dorito. What is
Espirito dos Santos?
Thank you. Absolute managerial masterclass in the second half. And I'm not going to say what a great player Callum Hudson-Odoi is. I'm going to say what an athlete. Like, tall, fast, smart, silky on the ball, but still is kind of raw, right? Still kind of a raw talent in some ways. But God, I wouldn't mind him coming off the bench for Saka, in the 80th minute. And I rated him. I didn't really see him play that much at Chelsea. I don't think
he never played it. He never played at Chelsea.
Prime can get into that if he wants in the chat a bit about Hudson-Odoi. But hey, this puts a wrinkle in Liverpool's in their journey, just like we may have a wrinkle in ours coming up tomorrow. But the thing is that shout out Forrest, shout out long-haired Yeti. You guys got it done today. And their left back Moreno with a masterclass today, man of the match against Salah, who I thought was very, very mid today. But, it was just one of those days. They just weren't clicking. But I'm not going to take that away from Forrest at all, because they looked a little sus in the first half, but that second half, they really got going. And at times they dismantled that Liverpool midfield. So, yeah.
I always thought United got rid of Elanga too quick, to be honest. I really do believe that. Elanga is a fucking baller,
Good
man.
Player.
He's a good player. And, how much would they want him on the wing right now? Or at least as an option. Right. That's all I'm going to say. But, congratulations to Nottingham Forest. I now have a big old egg on my face because I said that they were going to get relegated at the beginning of the season, and I am wrong. Very wrong. They're going to stay up. It completely transformed the way the table looks, and the way the rest of the looks, excuse me. Dude, I have not slept. the rest of the season looks. I mean, Liverpool's title chances. That's it. I mean, that's them done in week 4, in my opinion. Not that it really would have mattered, I don't think, because Man City again winning. Like, I don't think that it's going to be. I don't think it's even going to be close, because I really don't don't understand or see who's going to be beating them. But I mean, at the same time, at least you're getting some entertainment, right? You're getting some entertainment in the mid-table matches. You got upsets going on, and that's why we love this sport. Who probably isn't going to be a big fan of Liverpool after this? It's this guy.
Guys, good luck to you in the next round as well. We'll see who you guys draw. But I was supporting Arsenal yesterday, and it's Arsenal. Arsenal FC, we're by far the greatest team.
He's never gonna, like, he actually messaged me to come on his channel the other day, and I couldn't do it. Nice. But now he's gonna be supporting Arsenal after today, man. He's gonna get absolutely cooked today. I'm gonna be glued to YouTube all day long.
I already left him a $2 donation with a bunch of crying smiley faces, a little tree emoji at the end. Where did I put it? He put it right up, $1.99. He goes, "Yeah, okay, thank you, Oregon Goon." Or he said something I can't remember. It's like, I'll remember that or something. I don't know. Little cheeky $2 super chat for him. But hey, again, we don't have to dwell on the Forest game, but I mean, it is the Forest.
It's a hot topic, man.
But it is a hot topic. I mean, I got up specifically this morning to watch that game, and I knew we had an early morning show on my time, this morning as well. So I was impressed with what I saw. I mean, there's not a lot of names there, but they got this kid Yates running around in midfield. He was just trying to do everything he could to just stop their attack, and he did pretty well. But that first half was really shaky. Liverpool had a lot of possession, but it was and I hate to say it, but it really wasn't one of those days where nothing was going in for Liverpool. It wasn't like that. Yeah, they hit the post. They think they had a decent header chance, but their keeper was practically man of the match too. Sells was phenomenal today.
Yep.
So there's a lot of praise should really go to Forest and their perseverance at one of the toughest grounds in world football. Let's be honest. Anfield is not a picnic for any team at all. So
they hadn't. They were saying on NBC or Peacock or whatever you were watching on it. They hadn't won there since like 1965. So that's absolutely insane. I mean, you're watching records break before your eyes. You're watching that's 59 fucking years for those of you who can't do the math. It's absolutely insane. So good for Nottingham Forest at the same time. And again, it shows that there is going to be a growth period for Arne Slot at Liverpool. Like that, and I had him slotting in and doing this, just continuing what Klopp was doing in terms of results. But I was wrong. They weren't finishing their chances, and Forrest played a perfect first 45 minutes, kept them quiet, and then killed them. So
the first 45 minutes was shaky, but but you're absolutely right.
Yep. Again. All right. This is not a Liverpool show. Okay.
Right.
I've been looking forward to this, and I was really bummed because I couldn't get the show going before today because I had a wedding gig last night and work has been absolutely insane. And Dal's going to the Oregon game tonight, right?
I'm going to a watch along for it up in.
You're going to a watch along? Okay.
Yeah, a friend of mine, my friend Skip, who I'll tell you about, who passed away from cancer. Every first home game we now dedicate to him. So there's going to be his family and friends up there, and it'll be a pretty large group of us. So that'll be fun. Taking my youngest son, so we'll have a good time.
You guys are gonna smoke them. You guys are gonna
maybe Oregon State Beavers football is up and coming, so they say. But the rivalry's kind of dead now. We used to call it the Civil War because the stadiums are so close to each other. Eugene and U of O and Eugene and Corvallis has Oregon State, so like an hour apart. But we don't really call it that anymore because the Ducks have been dominating the Beavers for many years now. So anyway, it'll be fun watch, and shout out my friend Skip. Rest in peace, brother. Fuck cancer.
Absolutely, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Yes, fuck cancer for sure. Why wasn't Sobo yellow card? Because there's no consistency, Hugo. We don't even need to discuss this. You know what's going on. Okay, so let's get into it. I've been looking forward to this all day, all week. I've been freaking, having to hear from Deji on every stream that I go on. I'm having to hear from Jacob. I'm having to hear from all these Spurs fans saying that they have a chance.
A wild show the other day.
Yeah, well, dude, we got clipped up, man, and just go watch it over on United Spurs of America. We got clipped up. It was awkward. Anyway, we are not going to be done tomorrow. This is not true. We're going to win tomorrow. I have all the confidence that we will win tomorrow because Spurs have nothing in the middle. Let's just get into it. They got they're potentially are going to be without Bentancur. They're going to be without Basuma. Van de Ven is questionable. And to me, that's all you really need. I mean, we have enough experience in the midfield with Jorginho and Partey to get this over the line. Here's the thing is we will score. Like, we will score eventually. They do not have a midfield, but they do not have an attack. And I believe in our attack. Like,
I see what you're saying.
Right now, to get us over the line. I said like 2-0 to the Arsenal when I was super jazzed on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've kind of calmed down a little bit, I'm
marinated on it a little bit.
Now I'm thinking of maybe a 1-0. But I still think we're gonna win. Like, look, I'm not gonna go in here and say doom and gloom because Arteta got another 3-year contract extension, which we can talk about. But honestly, like, these games are what Bukayo Saka is here to deal with. This is what Trossard is here to deal with. We can get into our starting 11, and I want to hear what the chat has to say. If you guys have any questions, get them in. We'll answer them. But Dal, like, I'm not worried. Like, is that weird? I'm not worried. Are you?
No, I'm not weird, and I'm not worried. No, I
You're
am weird.
definitely
But
weird.
I'm definitely weird. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not overly worried either. And part of that was watching you and Northside with Deji and Jacob, and them going through their lineup, us going through the lineup. You made a lot of good points. So did Northside, of course. I'm very cautious, but again, primarily the reason why I'm not worried primarily is because it's the fourth week of football. There's still a shit ton of games to play. There's a lot of ups and downs, and this is a diverse situation for us, not having Rice and Odegaard, and it's going to be a real challenge for Arteta to see what he's made of. I challenge Arteta to do a 4-2-3-1. That's the formation I would go, like I've said on a couple shows before, with having Jorginho and Party in front of the back four to slow down that attack. The only issue is I feel like being at its Spurs stadium, that Gabriel may have the bozo gene, or Son will get 1 foot ahead of Ben White, and it'll be that kind of game. I think, TJ, it'll be just kind of a game, whoever makes the first mistake, because that's really what we've seen. To be honest, last season it was Højbjerg putting in an own goal, and then of course the Jorginho slip before that. So maybe it's a game of just whoever doesn't make the mistakes, because I don't think either team are completely in form right now. I think both teams are still kind of finding their ways a bit and finding their feet still, which really is an excuse for us. I can't say anything about Spurs. But for us, we should be out there with a killer mentality, and I just don't know if we have that when Rice isn't out on the pitch. And another point too is, Odegaard, we talk about him being ghost of guard in big games. Is this a game are we really going to miss him that much? And I know there's people in the chat, they're going to say, absolutely not. We're not going to miss him. And some will say, absolutely, yeah, because we need the creativity. But, I still think Trossard has something to give in the midfield, possibly as a starter, not as a winger.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try Trossard in that 10 role, because he's done it for Brighton on occasion. He wasn't always a winger for them. And it's just going to be, how the away fan base is as well. Let's see him get behind the lads when we're down 1-0, which could easily happen. I'm predicting a 2-2, because I think either team will probably nick one towards the end, similar to last season, even though we won 3-2. But I mean, it's too tough to call right now. I know I've seen some people saying 4-0, 3-1, and I think that's just a little bit much. Right.
Deji was saying it was going to be like a 4-2. I'm like,
I mean, but at the same time, mistakes can happen, right? We've seen games in the past where we've scored once, then scored right again, and we've kind of put them really under pressure. But it always seems like we just fucking drop the ball, like around the 78th minute against them. And it's either at home or away. We just have this pressure put on us, and we can even be up. We were up, 2-0 last season, and we got out of there 3-2 with Son's penalty in the 87th minute.
Yeah,
so, I mean, we put this pressure on it, and that's what I'm worried about. Is it too early in the season for us to deal with that pressure, right? It's not like it's the 19th, 20th game in the season. We've already had half the season done. We're really more prepared. We are where we are on the table, but everyone's like match fit and ready. And I don't think Jesus is probably even 100%. You know what I mean? And without Rice and Odegaard there, that just leaves a bit of a shadow. I just don't think there's a clear winner.
Yeah, I still think there is, though, but it is going to depend on us being disciplined defensively. I had some Spurs fan in the Never a Foul chat like talking me up about how they had better XG than we did last match out at Tottenham. You want to know why that is? It's because they got a fucking pen. That's why. Like we have to be disciplined in the box, because they will get their chances. They're going to play their high line. They're going to get into the box. They're going to get chances. I think we will hit them on the counter, but I don't think we're going to sit back. We have no reason to sit back against these guys. They have Kulusevski. They have a leading line of Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson, and Heung-min Son. And Heung-min Son is the only player in that team that I truly, truly rate. You could say Romero is a player. You could say Udogie is a player. But again, let's just go through the lineup. I mean, James Maddison, he hasn't looked the same since that injury. He hasn't looked like unless he's playing against a relegation side like Everton, he really hasn't looked that good. The Spurs team as a whole, unless they're playing Everton at home, they have not looked that good. They needed a Dan Burn own goal to score at St. James's Park. Let's be real about this. And this is something that Spurs fans don't understand, is that you are still going up against the best defense in the Premier League. The only goal that we've conceded this season was because we were down to 10 men and we just got absolutely split open. We had lost control of that game. Jez, if you want the link, let me know.
Good, Jez.
But yeah, no, it's this is why I just don't rate it. And I'm a little like now, like we're gonna be talking this time next week, or Friday of next week, and I'm gonna be singing a completely different tune because we're going into the Etihad. That's a completely different kettle of fish, right?
Right.
But but this Spurs side has not improved. They have not improved. They're the same, and then you got to look at the injuries on the back line. Van de Ven, I think Van de Ven is their best center back. Yes. Will you send that over to him? Yeah. I think Van de Ven is one of the best center backs, like in terms of potential in the league. He is so pacey.
He's good.
He's very, very good. He puts in the right tackles, good tackles, and he's out. Basuma out. So like the guys that normally cook against us are injured. And Romero, like as much as and shout out to my guy Jacob, I'm not going to talk too much shit on Romero, but he can be rash. He can lose his head. Pedro Porro, going forward, he's good. But if you're asking him to play defense, especially when we hit him on the counter, and we will have speedy wingers, I wouldn't be surprised to see Martinelli start, even though he hasn't been looking good. Martinelli will likely start on the left. And then we have options coming off the bench with Sterling. Like, and again, Bukayo Saka. This is the game for Bukayo Saka. People are saying, okay, TJ, you rate Havertz? No, I don't rate Havertz, especially with how he performs in the 10 for this football club and in the Premier League as a whole. But this is the game where I'm not depending on Kai Havertz. I'm depending on Kai Havertz to not fuck up. That's really all I'm doing. This is the game where Bukayo Saka needs to step up and show, because he's probably going to be wearing the armband. You need to show that you are the future of this football club. The future is now. Now is the time.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So sorry to go completely off the rails there.
No, but it's just it's one of those. It's, again, to me, big up Jez.
Big up Jez.
All good.
Thanks for popping in, Jez. We threw this together very last minute, so we're glad that you're here.
That's always the best ones, I think.
For sure.
Right.
Spontaneity is our strong point. No, the thing is that, I just think that Gabriel I don't know. I rate Gabriel, but there's a fear. He's the one I fear the most out of this game. I fear that he will make a mistake more than I think we miss Odegaard. Is that wrong?
Yeah. No,
I think it's so. The only way, but to your point, TJ, I think the only way they score is with, a mistake by us. And you can say, well, a lot of goals are by mistakes, but I mean, when these games are so tight and the margins are so tight, every little touch of the ball, right, can lead to something going wrong. So I just feel that we have that mistake in us right now, right?
Yeah.
That's and they can capitalize on that. And if we play mistake-free football, try not to let the atmosphere and the event get in our heads, right? That's the main thing. And that leads into kind of my starting 11 is why I don't want to see Enwari start. I don't think this is the game for him to get going. I think the Bolton game would be, or even Atalanta would be a good start for Enwari if Odegaard's going to be out against Atalanta. But then again, maybe he does start and he provides that dynamic spark. But I'm just not so sure. Maybe this isn't the moment for him.
I don't think it is.
Again, it's Trossard to me in the central midfield. But I don't want a 4-3-3. I just think it's going to be too open. It's going to play into their hands. We need to have the defensive counter-attack mindset, which to me, again, is a 4-2-3-1 with Partey and Jorginho in front of the back four and just solidify that back line. So, just nothing would get through that. And I agree with you. I don't think, like, to me, with Richarlison, he's not obviously as good as Solanke at scoring goals, but he seems like more of a nuisance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Falling down, pulling shirts, just being a jackass, while Solanke's kind of more just, doing the job.
And he's questionable too.
Yeah, there you go. So if Richarlison is there, I think he actually provides more of a threat, even though he can't, hit the barn door with a machine gun. But, he's just like that wily, pain in the ass player. And that is where I think we're fragile right now. I think we're fragile mentally, defensively, right? But I could be wrong, and we could blow them out 4-0. What do you think, Jez? I mean, I'm so 50-50 on this.
Totally agree. It's went out on the boat fishing today.
Nice.
We didn't do a very good day out there today. But it's pirate settings, and I think this is going to go one or two ways. It's either going to be attack from both teams, right, or it's be an absolute bloody ball fest. Both teams are weakened by injury, and we got doubts. But hey, come on, people are saying that Odegaard might be fit. I mean, I'm sorry, what are you living on? But then again, there again today, I just seen when I got home, had a shower and whatever, right? A certain AFT tuber, right, is saying, I would take, I can't believe this. I would take Tottenham winning a Champions League if it meant Arsenal won the Premier League.
You would? That was just the big questions the other night, wasn't it?
I mean, what are they on, man? So this guy would rather, right? And we all know who he is. We all know it. No, it's not Dom Robbie.
We don't even need to say names. Yeah, for sure.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you'd rather Tottenham win a Champions League ahead of Arsenal, as long as Arsenal won the Premier League. Are you mad? Well, yeah. I mean, what planet do these people live on?
Why even ask the question? I hate these. Like, I understand driving content. Like, I understand that, but just the freaking the dumb questions get to be a little bit too much for me. They get to be a little bit too much for me. I mean, if it was Turkish, you know what? Good for them. Good for them. I've met Turkish in person. Like, nice guy, but it's like, what they're doing. They're out there. They're trying to drive traffic. They're trying to get views, and they're very good at it. But some of the conversations that you're having are just like, come on, man. If you were a true fan, you wouldn't even be like, okay, he's a true fan. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, stop putting yourselves in these positions to get ridiculed. Stop supporting or even entertaining the fact that you could be misconstrued as wanting your biggest rival to win anything. Like, I don't even entertain those questions. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even entertain those questions. I don't like people ask me those stupid fucking questions. I don't answer them. It's like, it's a dumb question. Next.
Well, I feel like they bring those questions and the answers are supposed to be so controversial and, it's outrageous that he said this, and then it's clickbait, right? It's all for clicks and views. And I was just with Jez yesterday, Jez? Yeah, yesterday we talked about, and I'm like you, TJ. I said, I will never, ever, ever support Tottenham. How many of these predictions have we done, TJ, with the Excel list?
Yeah.
It's been like Tottenham, so like I would take Ipswich 2-1 over Tottenham before I ever give them any slight edge over any team in the EPL. And to be honest, you guys know this in the chat, and obviously TJ and Jez, any team in the Prem can beat any team on any given day, point blank, Nottingham Forest at fucking Anfield today. So as you football chatters know, because all you ones in here today are real ones, know that any team on any day can beat anyone. We've seen it over and over and over. So I'm never going to gas up Tottenham.
I'm seeing any results. I've literally been in 20 minutes. I haven't seen any results today yet. Any shocks?
Forest 1-0, baby.
Forest 1-0 at Anfield.
Yeti lost his mind today. Shout out Yeti. I was watching the Yeti this morning, and the absolutely great show. He was having a ball.
I
Yeah,
bet he is.
absolute masterclass by Nottingham Forest away at Anfield. Like you're gonna
And Moreno.
Jez, you should watch the highlights or watch that game if you can. Like it was a masterclass. It was a masterclass.
Yeah.
Match of the day. I'll see it on tonight on 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so Hudson-Odoi just buries one outside the box in about the 65th minute or something like that. Yeah. And Moreno, their left back, had Salah in his pocket. Salah put in a stinker. They just looked, I want to say Liverpool looked bad, Jez, but to tell you what, Forest played out of their skin. This Yates kid, whoever their CDM is, this kid was all over the pitch, cleaning up everything. He looked like Declan Rice at times, and maybe that's a little too far, but but the thing is like, no, it's worth watching. And again, shout out Yeti, shout out Forest. I mean, in the end, that helps us, right? That helps what we need to do, right, in accumulating points. Anytime Liverpool drop points, especially 3 points, is nothing but a win for us in my book.
Yep.
Right.
No, 100%. I'm just really glad to see that Liverpool's title challenge is already over, and it's only September. But big up everybody. Make sure that you're smashing the likes. Make sure that you're subscribed to Oregon Goon. Make sure you're subscribed to Arsenal History and More. If you live under a rock and you're not subscribed to Arsenal History and More, I don't know what you're doing. Get out from under the rock is all I'm going to say. And then of course, subscribe to this channel if you're new. Of course, we're just hanging out. We're gonna answer a few questions. Probably be live for another half an hour before I send Dal, my buddy Dal, to go drink some beers and watch college football. Yeah. So anyway, so look, again, pivoting back. Yeah, go Ducks. Pivoting back to and go Rams today. Fuck CU. Fuck Deion Sanders. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, fuck Deion Sanders.
Seriously, fuck Deion Sanders. I don't care.
Yeah,
Coach
seriously.
Prime. Yeah, go Prime somewhere else.
Jez is like, what's going on?
Sorry, these are like big rivalry, big college rivalries here. Jez. So anyway, all right, pivoting back to Tottenham and Arsenal again. Dal, you mentioned, Jez, you mentioned it could go one of two ways in terms of how they approach the game. I think it's going to be wide open. I think that they're going to attack. I think Arsenal set up with a 4-2-3-1 and we win the game. Like, look, at the end of the day, even with Rice out, even with us playing a double pivot 6 without Odegaard up top, I think our defense is way too good. And I think we're going to hit them on the counter. And, like I mentioned right before you got on, Pedro Porro is very, very good going forward. He's not so good going backwards. And, keys to the game, if I was going to say it, it's going to be the performance of Udogie against Saka, to be honest with you. Udogie has had his way with Saka a few times, but at the end of the day, there's 11 players on the pitch. Everybody's going to need to step up, but I think Saka really needs to step up because Martinelli really hasn't been informed. He's in form. He's going to be going up against Pedro Porro. I think Pedro Porro going backward is like I said 3 times already, awful.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean it's all about us being able to hit them on the counter. But again, we do not want to go into a shell at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We want to keep attacking. We want to keep our foot on the gas every single time. And yeah, no, that's like, you saw that last season. I was just watching the highlights from the North London Derby last season. We took our foot off the gas. We got careless. And we cannot do that again, especially if we get a lead in the first half.
We were up 3-0.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this. My only concern with this absolute fraud of a manager, right? I don't want him to be tinkering with that defense. I do not want to see Zinchenko there.
Facts.
That's an absolute bloody disaster. It's working. It's not. I don't think our defense is functioning quite as well as it was last year, but I'm confident with Timber at left back, right? Gabriel, Magalhaes, Saliba, and Ben White. And then the midfield, well, I heard you guys were saying, I tend to agree with you. We could put Zinchenko in there at 10. He does play for Ukraine there. He has played in Arsenal when he first came to Arsenal, right? He has played there, and he did okay. I wouldn't say he ripped up trees, but he did all right. But I would be the thing. I think my only concern is I think Trossard's more of an impact player. When he starts, I don't know. I just don't. He doesn't seem to have that sort of same impact in the game.
Yeah.
But if Jesus is fit, dear God, please no. Not starting on the bench.
Yeah.
You can come on for 20 minutes towards the end and make a difference. But
I agree.
You'll be falling over, spend more time on your bum than you will actually play in the game. That's what he does, looking for the cheap foul. Yeah, that ain't going to work tomorrow. So it's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, your formation, you were saying what, 4-3-2?
I was saying 4-2-3-1 is what I was looking for.
Yeah, well, that's the classic pyramid, isn't it? And it works well. So my concern is with Martinelli. He's not 100% up to the well, not so far this season from what I've seen. So that might be a change there. I don't know, but my concern is the midfield. That's where we've got to really be on it. I don't want Jorginho starting. Let's be honest. Last season, he gifted him a goal. You know, so no, it's good. But at least we're sitting here and we have got some confidence in what we can achieve. With Raheem Sterling, the dream. I love it. I love you.
No, Jez, have you been watching these shows where people are throwing him in the starting 11?
I put him in the starting 11.
I would, dude. Okay. That's too much of that diesel talking. That's too much of that diesel.
No. I two things. I think Jez is right in ways about Jorginho. I would like Partey and Jorginho to start, but the problem with that is, what are you going to do in the 70th minute when both their legs are done? Right? Who comes on? So
yeah, good point.
That's the thing. If Partey and Jorginho are gassed in the 70th minute, we're fucked. So that kind of eliminates that. So I think Jez even has a pretty good point of maybe, not starting Jorginho and have him come on, because we're going to need legs.
Who do you play back there then?
His legs can't last 90 minutes anymore.
Right. So if he starts, who comes on for him in the 70th minute? Partey? But I'd rather have Partey start because he provides more of a offensive threat.
Partey has got to start. There's if we don't have him starting, we're in deep trouble because they're going to be pushing through that midfield, and it's going to be a real big problem for us. So it's an option. I mean, I'm joking about the Sterling situation. On his day, he can be quality. But will he get gassed up for a North London derby? He's never played in one. It'll be down to the players to get him up for it, Right. But this is a question to you two guys and the chat. There's not many players in that team that understand the passion about a North London derby because none of them get it. Maybe Saka does. Maybe he gets it. But you think of the rest of them, they're not like back in the day when you had the likes of the great Adams, Bold, Henry, Pires, Petit, who got it. They got what it meant to the club. I'm not convinced, guys. These players do.
Can I take a shot at this one real quick?
Yeah.
I hear exactly what you're saying, Jez. Like the guys who have come through the academy, like Saka, and I think Saka and Nwaneri, I think are the only ones in the team that have come through the academy, right? I mean, and we might see Salah, but that kid, I mean, he's still sucking on his mom's tit as far as I'm concerned. Like he hasn't hit he's too young. Like in terms of actually, sorry, that was crass. Now that I think about it, I haven't slept. I'm just saying, like, look, Jez, you got a point there, but you got to also look at the Spurs side of the equation too. They
Yeah.
haven't seen. I mean, who in their midfield? Like you can look at their team. Who's going to be starting in their midfield?
Matters gets it.
Yeah, Matters might get it, but that's just because he's in the Premier League. The only one that
Yeah.
has been in the Premier League, the only one that will really get it is Heung-min Son, and that
Ben
guy
Davis.
always scores against us. Yeah, Ben Davies, get out of here. But and Ramiro has been in the squad long enough to understand. But I mean, you could say that about both teams. I mean, if how much
can't spell his own
turnover?
name.
How much turnover have you seen in these clubs over the past 2 or 3 years? Like they're going in and out of the team. Like, and I see what Jez is saying, because the passion is what makes this derby what it is, right? And it's been a little bit like last year. I think both games were a little bit of a shit show. The game before, like, I mean, the last time you saw Tottenham win, I think, what was it? It was like spring of 2022.
There was a stat thrown out that was really bad. Like, they only beat Sheffield. They only beat 4 of the teams they beat. I think 3 of them were like under relegation the whole season, like Sheffield, Luton. I mean, it's weird. So
to answer your question, Jez, like long form answer your question, I completely agree with you. There's just not. But I just think that's because of the amount of turnover that you're seeing in the Premier League with these transfers and with, people coming and going. Like, if you still had like a Granit Xhaka in this club, he would be trying to kill these guys. But it's just not the same. What do you think, Dal?
Well, no, I think Jez is right, and the ability to get it. It's now been 4 or 5 seasons with Arteta. If he doesn't get it and some of the players don't get it, then it's time to sack him, right? Because it's Arteta's job to get every one of those players understanding what this game means. I think Arteta understands what it means. I think we'll be up for it generally. But again, my fear is that, like we saw last season, we talked earlier, we went 3-0 up and let in 2 goals at the end. What if we don't have that luxury and we still have that mental fragility that I know we have? As far as like getting the importance of, I think Saka understands it. And I think to a point, Jesus gets it just because he comes from a winning side. And I think even though, like Jez said, Sterling's never played in one, but he's no dummy to English football, right? He knows what this means for each team, even though he's obviously been very, outside of it for forever. So I think there's an element that Sterling gets it, to be honest, just because of experience and age and knowing what it means to the city. You know what I mean?
Possibly I'll retract that statement, because I think stupidly I made that statement, because he's played in numerous Man City, Man United type situations, and that's one of the biggest derbies in English football.
Sure. He gets it.
I mean, he's played in big games. It's like, but there's differences between rivalries, right? Like you had United and City, but United and City haven't consistently played each other year in, year out for the last 30 years.
Good point.
Like Arsenal and Tottenham have. Arsenal have not gotten relegated. Tottenham have not gotten relegated in that span of time. Like, it's gonna be tough. Like, it's gonna be a really good game. They're gonna go at each other. I think, you could say what you want about Arteta. Like, I'm gonna question how he manages the game, but this is literally the easiest part of his job, is getting these fucking guys up for this game. Like, they have to be up for it. It's easy. It's literally part of your job. You don't even need to bring in a photographer, okay? Bring in a club legend. Bring in somebody to give the team shots. You don't need a light bulb. You don't need a potato. You don't need anything. You don't need any metaphors for this. Like, come on. Everybody's going to be watching it. Everybody's going to be on pins and needles. It's going to be,
And to that effect, like, Sterling, I start him this tomorrow on the left.
Oh, we got to get into starting 11 because honestly, I gotta know why. Why?
Because number one, Martinelli's not up to it. We know. We don't trust Trossard on the left wing as a starter, which I feel he could provide, more effort as Odegaard's replacement. And I think that Sterling can pick that pass out. He's not the best finisher, and granted, he's let you know, again, we're getting a Chelsea reject, which sucks. It sucks ass, right? But we said the same thing about Havertz, and he went on to be one of our top scorers, if not our top scorer at the beginning of this year, right? So
Yeah. Calendar year, yeah.
The calendar year. Thank you. So I'm not saying Sterling's going to replicate that. I'm just saying that Sterling does provide something. I mean, if we're not getting out of Martinelli, Trossard isn't the one. Sterling has to do something. Sterling will do something. I think Sterling will have something to prove. And I'm not buying into the PR bullshit. I just think that if you do the 4-2-3-1 and your attacking midfielders are Sterling, Trossard, and Saka, I think that's pretty decent against a very mid Tottenham team.
You got a good point.
Right? And again, Sterling, 3 years at Liverpool, 7 years at City. What, 3 managers at City? Pellegrini, Mancini, and Pep. Still winning things.
I don't even think he was there. I don't even think he was there for Mancini. I think he was only there for
7 years. Well, maybe not. I think Mancini. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Okay, Pep and Pellegrini, maybe not. But
taking too many shots in the head to remember.
2 or 3 of those. I mean, you got 2 or 3 for sure. AJ will know. He'll do the Google research for us. He's absolutely crap.
This chat is so
That's
funny.
your opinion, and I don't rate him that much either. But I mean, it's like some people say, "Oh, we should have brought in this French kid from League One, from Saint Etienne or something." I mean, that's what I don't want, right? But we don't want the French kid that's hyped about, because we saw this with Sonogo. We've seen this with other players. We hype up these young kids. At least Sterling brings some experience, depth. That's what I've been asking for. It's not exactly what I wanted. Of course not. I wanted a top-rated striker, but he's here. He's here now. So all we can do is just back him. And if he scores the winning goal, you're going to be in the mud, buddy. If Sterling scores that goal 2-1,
I would love to be in the mud.
Too.
I've been asking to be in the mud with this team, and what I've said online the last 2 years, I would love to be in the mud. Throw me in there.
Right. Kevin De Bruyne give everyone a career there. Him and Rodri. Right. He's not going to get the service, but there's something there that I think can work. And I would start him this weekend because Martinelli is definitely not in form. Now, you can start Sterling, put Martinelli on the 65th minute and hit him with pace. And I mean, yeah, we're just cautious, BX.
I disagree. So I literally, BX, go back and watch the beginning. You were here from the beginning. I was talking with Chess. I think we're gonna win. But we're being cautious because look, we've watched these games with our eyes. We have not been 100% convincing on the attacking side of the ball. And now we're missing our best creative midfielder, who, in my opinion, hasn't played that well. And we're kind of thrown into a little bit of chaos here. Sorry, my dog is losing his absolute mind right now. I'm just, I'm coming in with Chess because it's Tottenham and I think they're absolute shit. I think they're going to finish 7th or 8th. I really don't think that they're that good. And I rate Ange Postecoglou as a manager. I want to be 100% clear here. I rate Ange Postecoglou as a manager. The problem is he does not have the players to execute the high line that he plays. They are not clinical enough. Brendan Johnson is shit. Kulusevski has fallen off. Heung-min Son suffers because of the players that he's playing with. Solanke, take him, and I rate Dominic Solanke. Don't get me wrong. I rate that guy. He was very, very good at Bournemouth, but it takes a while to get bedded into these clubs. A lot of these times, especially these number 9s, they don't hit the ground running. Not everybody is, not everybody's the cyborg they got over there at Man City.
And that's why I'm not overly disappointed we took a punt off of Sterling because of all those points you just mentioned.
Okay.
We could have brought some but no name in.
Yeah, that's true. Big up Barcelona X-rated Aaron. Big up my guy Aaron. Aaron, we got to get you on the channel, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to get this guy on the channel for sure. But big up. Thank you for the super chat. He says, double big up, everyone. People like and sub. Yes. follow what Aaron is saying right now and like and sub on the channel.
He goes live tomorrow for the first time, 6 o'clock.
Oh,
Channel.
all right. Well, maybe is that directly after the game? When's my? Are you doing a review?
10 a.m. my time.
Yeah, let me know and I'll redirect to you, Aaron. Let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Okay, so yeah, no, let's go through the starting 11s here. So Dal, you said you let's see. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's go with Jez first.
What formation, Jez, do you want to see, and what players do you want to see in that formation?
I'd actually go 4-3-3.
Okay.
I think if you've got 3 up front, you'll press their defense. I don't think their defense is great, to be honest. If you got let me be subjective. I will go. Okay, I'm going to change it up a bit here. So I'm going to go Sterling. Yeah, I'm changing my mind here. I'm flip flopping.
I have that effect on Jez.
I'm click-clopping.
Big old flip flop.
I'm click-clopping. I'm going to go Sterling, Havertz, Saka. Right? And then I'm going to go in the 3. I'm going to go Trossard. And I'm going to go Partey. And who am I going to put else in there? I might, I'm going to take a risk, guys. I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to put Enweri in on the right.
Woo!
Give him a go. Why not? He's got something to prove. And you know how players, they've got something to prove, they can actually have a bloody good game. So that's an option. Timber, Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba, Rice, Raya. That's me. It's a risk, but if Enweri doesn't have a great 30 minutes, then we can swap him out. But at least he's going to come on there. Yeah, everybody's told me, it's North London derby. It's a big game for him to come on and start. Mate, you got to start somewhere.
You got to pop your cherry sometime.
Exactly. By the way, boys, where'd you get your flags from? The Arsenal flags.
My Arsenal flag? Oh, I got this one. Off of like Amazon, like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I've had mine for well over 10 years. I used to put out in front of our old house. I had a stick and I used to put it out the front door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I haven't done. Yeah, but it's where we live now is really windy in the wintertime. So I just put up on the wall. In fact, all this background's going to change. I'm getting a big desk. This is all going to turn around. I'm going to get some shelves. I mean, this is all. I've been saying that for a year now, TJ. But
yeah, well,
this is all going to change.
Here's the thing: is you and me both. I was supposed to get a new office. I was supposed to rearrange this office a year ago, and I just never found the time.
Anyway, Jez, no, I've had mine for several years.
I'm not trying. I haven't got one, and this is my man cave type place. I've got a wall over there.
But you've got the nice green screen.
I've got nothing on that wall, so I'm thinking I might get a big one of them.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, no, I need to definitely upgrade my setup. I'm not gonna lie. For as much as I'm streaming lately, I need to be upgrading my setup. Good Lord.
I like Deju's setup, to be honest. I think
Deju with the neon in the back.
Yeah, that's really dope. Shout out Deju.
Yeah, but shout out Deju, but Deju, you're a loser. You're definitely no. Go ahead. I did say that I would go on Deju's stream if they do get a result. But if they do get a result, I'm cracking the makers, and I'm just gonna dull it the entire day.
Take all the abuse by wave after wave.
No, it's gonna be it's gonna be bad if that happens. Okay, Dow.
We got to go 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
I just think the 4-3-3 to me is just it leaves us just too vulnerable. But but again, now that I think about it, the Spurs, their attack is really not that good. And let's not forget, they finished 30 points behind us last season. 30.
And again, I still don't think that they've improved.
So-
Keep going. Sorry.
Right. I would agree with that as well. But maybe they haven't improved player wise, but they will have improved system wise, right? The system will be better than it was last season, essentially. It's supposed to be. So with that said, I'm not a big fan of the 4-3-3 unless you have the right bench for it, right? You can sub
Right.
on the right player for the right player. So I've got to go, which I know Arteta is not going to do, but for me, if I'm Dalteta, I got to go 4-2-3-1. And as much as I want to put Jorginho and Partey in front of the back four, that does leave us. What the hell are we going to do in the 65th minute when both of their legs are basically done, right? That's the thing, and that's what Jez had me thinking. So with that, so I still want to do the 4-2-3-1, but I read something BX Genner put in as well. I think he said Trossard in front of Havertz, so that would mean we could do a 4-4-1-1, right? 4-4-1-1 with the normal back four, Timber at left back, obviously Starsky and Hutch and Ben Tan, and then our four midfielders could essentially be Martinelli, Partey, Trossard, maybe at that attacking 10, and then Saka, and then I'm sorry, not Trossard, Partey and George. So 4-4-1-1, Partey and Jorginho in the middle, Saka on the right, Trossard, and then Havertz up front. I would switch the two. I would put Havertz up top still and have Trossard roaming around behind him in a 4-4-1-1. I think that would be more what I want to see, but that's pretty defensive as well.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Arteta's going to go 4-3-3. We all know he's still going to stick to the same formation. And in reality, he should, because reality is just replacing players, right? You don't have to change the whole fucking show up, right? You don't have to change the formation. You just have to replace the players and keep the same system, right? Essentially, our left back's inverted.
yeah.
Does that make right? So I guess a 4-3-3.
Makes sense.
What about an old George Graham one?
What's
What
that?
about an old George Graham one? 2-2-2-4.
I think that. Are you starting from the offense or the defense,
I
Jez?
started from the offense.
It was
or defense. Sorry, defense.
Well, George
Graham
Graham
just
said,
a few years before my following of Arsenal.
it's always the way that, I mean, he only had the access of one season because his belief was, I'm taking the piss a bit here.
Yeah.
His belief was, if you get your defense working, then you can build on it.
If we get them on the ball, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
To use them to actually be more attacking than just defend. I guess I'm mumbling on and on. So he's not going to change the formation. So I got to go with like what Jez says, 4-3-3. Same back four with Timber. Midfield is midfield is going. I think is going to be Jorginho on the left, Partey in the 6 with Nwari as the number 10, the Odegaard spot, and I think he will start Sterling, Havertz, and Saka. I think Sterling starts. I think the club is eager to get him out there.
I'll go with that.
I believe you 100%. And I'm never going to hear this, by the way. Goonery are big up, but no way. We are not the same as them. We are so far above them.
But I do think
not here.
My one objection to that is starting Nwari. I think this game is a bit maybe too big for him. I'm still in the mindset that he should start against Atalanta and he should start obviously against Bolton. Maybe this event is too big for Nwari, but like you guys have said, I think you guys have probably watched him more in preseason than I have. Maybe this is the game that he, Jez says he comes out, sprouts like a flower. Maybe he tears them up, right? Because they don't know what to expect from him.
Yeah. I mean, he looked very, very good in the preseason. Like I was lucky enough to go and see him live. I mean, and I said it on my show with Connor on Thursday. That pass that he had across to Gabriel Jesus against Man United. I mean, granted it was against Man United, some starting 11, some of their bench, some of their academy. I mean, it was right on the nail. Like the kid has a future at this club. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that the next 3 games are right. I wouldn't be upset if he started against Tottenham. I would raise an eyebrow for sure, because that shows a lot of trust from the manager to get this kid in there and in a huge rivalry game like this. And to Jez's question earlier, Nwaneri will understand this because he came up through the academy. He will understand how important this game is. He'll be up for it. I think the kid is a star in the making. And I'm not talking like, oh yeah, like Charlie Patino was a star in the making. I'm thinking this kid has the tech. He has the ball knowledge. He's a very, very good kid on the ball with the pass. But again, it's the North London Derby away.
But he's an Islington boy.
Yeah.
So
he knows. So I wouldn't start him, but he's an option. That's all I'm going to say. He's an option off the bench. I wouldn't be upset to see him start, but I personally wouldn't. Just because he's never started a Premier League game before, and you're going to throw him in, Tottenham away.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So here's mine. Rayan net. The normal 4 in the back, Timber on the left, Starsky and Hutch, Ben White. You guys bring up such a good point about Jorginho's legs, though. Like, can he play? Like full 90? Obviously, Partey is going to start. What?
Right. If you have to I'm sorry to interrupt you. If you have Partey and Jorginho start, who do you bring on? Right in that 75th minute,
you would have to change the formation.
You have to right.
And are we going to start defensively? Do we want to start defensively? Maybe not. So, not taking into account is like, God, I was literally saying Jorginho and Partey all week long, but now you guys are making me think about it. I'm not starting Zinchenko in this game. I don't care what I don't want him anywhere near it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm not bringing on Zinchenko to play in the midfield. I'm not doing it. Like big up Johnny Donut, but I'm not doing it.
Well, what about Havertz on the left and you start Jesus? Because I think
is Jesus even fit to be in this match?
Yeah, he's fit. They said he's fit. He's ready to go.
He's probably going
to. That's what they say. Like we all know what they say and what reality is. Sometimes are 2 different things.
Yeah. All right. So if I was going to go 4-3-3, I'm going to take back. I'm going to take back what I said 2 minutes ago. Then I would just do Nwaneri, Partey, and Havertz in the middle, and then front 3 I would go Martinelli, because I think it's too early to bring on Sterling. If Martinelli puts in a stinker, then hook him at halftime, then put in Sterling. That's what I would do. And then Saka on the right and Trossard in the 9. And I know he has trouble getting started in these matches, but what are your alternatives? You either switch Trossard and Havertz, you put Trossard in the 10 and you put Havertz in the 9. Like either way, it's stinky. And then your options are Jesus or Sterling. Which I can't believe it's 2024 and Sterling plays for Arsenal. That's still wild to me. But anyway, yeah, that's my starting 11. So if I were to, and if we get the lead and we're 70th minute, we're up 1-0, then throw in Jorginho in there and see it out. But I don't want to see Zinchenko in this game. I think he's not good enough on the ball, especially in the midfield. Like international football does not translate to Premier League football as well as a lot of people say. It's like, yeah, he plays there for Ukraine. Yeah, great. Who are Ukraine playing against?
Arteta's never played him there.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. I'm sure like, Dow could probably cook against San Marino in the Nations League.
I could.
Guys, let's relax here. So that's why like
Put me
Zinchenko,
in,
no
governor.
thanks. Zinchenko, no thanks. What?
Put me in, governor.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, that's my starting 11. So, Dal, are you still saying 2-2?
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, yeah. But only because 2-2. But I think one team scores that tying goal, 87th minute.
Sorry,
Right?
that was a really funny comment.
I just don't know. People, Villa, we were lucky, but then the other side of that coin is we showed perseverance, right? You can either go that we were lucky against Villa, or we showed real extreme perseverance, got our 2 goals, a snatch and grab, and we got the 3 points. It's how you want to look at it, right?
Yeah.
I just, the more we look at their lineup, it's not that good. And I'm sorry, I don't rate Romero over Gabriel, and I don't rate him over
No, I don't
Saliba.
either. I don't
Romero's
either.
a red card waiting to happen. And the chance of him getting a red card is pretty fucking high. Right? And Van der Veen, looked at him last time. All he had to do was track back. And he caught Martinelli. But
Yep.
really, Van der Veen is just he's decent, but you don't hear he wasn't that decent when they only won 4 games against Sheffield, Luton, and whoever in all of, I think, like you said, of 2024.
Yep.
So the more I think about it, we should go out there and paste them. We really should.
Are you switching? Are you switching?
No, I'm going to too. I just, but if but I would love to see just go up 3-0 and actually smell blood and make it 4. If we can go 3-0 up there last season, even though we had a different lineup and things are different, I know it's not the same every game. We have the capability to go out there and smashing them, and I think we're a true Arsenal Spurs overall 11 will have many, many more Arsenal players in it than Spurs players.
There's maybe 1 or 2 that make it for me.
Right. And I mean
the rest are Arsenal.
To be honest, I don't even know if I put Son over Trossard.
I would.
Right. At this point. I mean, for Son to start, but I don't know. I'm just nervous like the rest of us. I just want the 3 points.
Yeah,
I don't care how we get it.
God, I'm not nervous, but I'll probably end up regretting it.
We both through, like you said before, and Jez said earlier, we were 3-0 and we took our foot off the gas.
Yep.
3-0 at Spurs, you have to. I mean, there's a concentration level you just have to have, and that's what Jez is, I think, means by getting it. Like, getting it isn't just going in hard on tackles. It isn't just doing the dark arts. It's being 3-0 up there, realizing it's 3-0. And not letting your concentration wander away from you, right? It's being in the moment. It's knowing what you have to do at your rival's ground, especially when you're up 3-0, bro. I mean, that, and maybe I shouldn't talk too much about last season's game, but anyway, I still got to say 2-0, 2-2.
Okay. Jez, final thought. And what's your prediction?
I said last night 2-2. But,
oh, geez. Okay.
I said, but, thinking about it, this is going to be either, I said it at the start of your show or when I joined, whatever.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a draw, ball fest, or Arsenal will nick it. And I think it's possibly going to be a 2-2. I said it last night, so I'm not going to swerve. But it could be a possible nicker from Arsenal and we win 2-1.
All right. Yeah. And then again, I don't think Spurs score. I just don't. Again, I don't rate their attack. They got Heung-min Son on an island out there, and it's like him and Udogie are the only ones that would make a combined 11 with me. The rest of them, they wouldn't even get close, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0 or 2-0. I'm a little less confident just in our ability to score, but I don't see them scoring. I see us clean sheeting them away. And, outside of, and that is going to come down to David Raya too. David Raya has looked very, very good this season outside of the defense letting him down against Brighton and us being down to 10 men. So I'm very, very confident that we're going to win. I think we're going to win. So, all right, that's the show. That's the show. I got to get out of here. I gotta sleep. Let's be honest. And then I got to take my dog to the groomer and all the weekend shit.
Right.
Jez, thank you so much for joining us, man. Really, really appreciate it. I will be tuning in to you tomorrow. And then obviously Arsenal X-Rated for the debut. I will be there for that as well. But shout yourself out, Jez.
Yeah, it's Arsenal history and more. Looking forward to tomorrow to a point. I'm doing a watch along for it, which will be interesting. That's it. And then I'll be doing fan cam relay, and then I'll be jumping on Aaron's new channel, Arsenal X-Rated, which I'm looking forward to at 6 p.m. UK time. Yes. So come and join Aaron, give him your support, smash a sub and likes, and let's get him off and running.
100%. Welcome to the family, Aaron, every single time. Dow. It's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a good weekend, man. It's going to be a good weekend, right?
I hope so. No. One thing we didn't touch on was Arteta's new contract signing. He's here to 2028. Yay!
God almighty.
Yeah,
right. Exactly, no. I'm not going to swerve either, like my man Jez. It's got to be 2-2, and I think it's either we nick to tie it up, or they nick it to tie it up. Right? I think it's 2-1 for a while, then someone does something dumb. But again, this is a game we have to play mistake-free because mistakes will kill us. Because I agree with you, TJ. Their attack isn't that much. And Scott M., you get that Oregon State Beaver shit out of my chat. Oh! Sit on that, Scott M., you beaver-loving bastard. No, I'm just kidding. You're not. Anyway, no, and like you said, TJ, they can attack. Bringing in that beaver shit, Jez is like, what's going on?
Jez has no idea.
Yeah, it is. No.
Anyway, it's an American thing.
That's a real football. All right, here's the thing. You're right on the attack, TJ. It's weak, but we have to be mistake free.
100%.
We have to be mistake free. Other than that, we'll beat them. Thank you again for a great show. And Jez, thank you for coming on. And thank you for all you crazy mutants in the chat. You're not mutants. I love you. Let's go, Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go. Okay, you can catch me tomorrow. Watch along. We're doing a crossover watch along with that absolute Dominic Mysterio looking MFer, Jacob Walraven from United Spurs of America. God help me. So if you guys want to come over here and watch me and Jacob yell at each other for 120 minutes, you're more than welcome to.
When is this again?
What?
When is this?
I think we're starting at 7:30 my time, so 5:30 your time.
We're doing a watch along together. Okay, are we going to do a review show tomorrow?
We can do a review show tomorrow.
We got to do one right after the game.
Why am I whispering? Yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
Okay,
that's fine. Unless we lose and I'm crying, and then I'm gonna need a minute.
Well, even more of a review show. Then we'll have definitely have Jez's vino out. We'll have some yellowtail and some ganja to go along with that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Cope for sure. All right. But big up everybody for watching. We're gonna send you over to Safi. He's doing an Aston Villa Everton watch along. So go over there and say hello to Staffy. And say TJ Warren TV raid. Until next time, come on, you Gunners. We're gonna beat those motherfuckers. I'm not worried about it. Let's go.
You don't have the answers. DJ.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answer.
Tony, do you
don't have the answer.
You don't have the answer.